Speaking of pants, I just bought a belt for $200 and it didn't fit. You're stupid. Hey, folks, this is Nick.
And I'm Brandon, and this is Coast to Coast.
I kind of want to try it now. I'm not going to lie.
Because you're being coast to coast.
Oh my God, dude. I can't.
All right, welcome back to Coast Podcast. We're a bunch of morons.
You hit the record button. I wasn't ready. I'm like, wait, are you going to start or am I?
Dude, it's been too long.
I know. Hi, everybody. We're
What's up,
back.
dudes?
We've had a 86-year-long hiatus practically. It's what it feels like, dude.
Oh, my God. That was a big
Nick and I were just talking right before he hit the record button without telling me that he was going to hit the record button. Like, subscribe, comment, share. What was it that you were telling me? Oh, our platform that we use, we're on Zoom. They changed things around. They did an update. So we're trying to like learn everything, right?
Yeah,
Over
we ain't been
again,
on it in a
basically.
while.
What's that?
We ain't been out in a while.
It's been a minute.
Last time we were on Zoom, it didn't look nothing like this.
No. We effectively let our Zoom membership cancel. The last time we tried to record something, we did a couple things and we used the OBS platform.
Yeah.
Which, when it's just you talking to somebody, it's totally fine. But with what we were trying to do at the time,
This stuff.
play some music and all that kind of, little videos and whatnot, that was just a nightmare. Bugs needed to be figured out. And we're like, you know what? We are officially coming back. We are officially starting our, what'd you say, dude? Seventh season, which is
We're
just
old, but we're
bonkers,
brand new.
right?
We've been brand new how many times? But I think
Oh, dude, we're brand new every season, bro. We like recreate nothing every time.
What are we doing this time?
But we're like, we're going back to the basics, right? We're gonna go
basic.
back to why we started a podcast in the first place, which is just two dudes chilling, sitting back, having fun. But with that, we were talking right before we hit the old record button. We feel like we owe you a little bit of an explanation as to why we went so long this time.
But before that, we got a thing to do.
I did the thing.
You did? No, you
Yeah.
did not.
I snuck it in there, bro. I said, like, subscribe, comment, share.
Well, there it is. You said it there. That's what I heard.
And I snuck it in there right now, just again, the second time. Boom. Thing
And
done.
click the bell so you
twice.
don't miss a show.
Notifications.
That's right.
When was the last like actual episode we sat down and recorded together? I want to say it was in October.
On Zoom?
No, not Zoom. When we were farting around with OBS.
Oh, that was October.
October. So yeah, the last time Nick and I actually sat down to try to record some stuff was about mid-October.
Mhm.
And then things started to kind of go awry, and it wasn't any kind of a scheduling issue. It was like some personal stuff that him and I had going on. Your stuff kind of came first, and then my stuff hit. So do you want to start?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm just a big fat jerk, and that's all there is to it.
Nick
No,
wrote me
I hit
off for about a month and a half. He's like, screw that Brandon guy. He's an a-hole.
Man, first off, when we did the OBS, the biggest problem was audio, because way OBS, when you have guests, you have to have a whole separate thing to bring into. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not that we couldn't figure it out, but trying to do that in a broadcast, and I've never done guests before, and we're trying to figure it out when we're doing the podcast. It just was too much of a frustration.
And Nick would play the music video, but I couldn't hear the audio from it. I could only see it. So I had to pull it up on the live stream of YouTube on my phone.
Which is 30 seconds behind.
30-second delay. So I would miss the last 30 seconds of everything we played. It pissed me off. Dude, I tried to play it off. I'm like, yeah, that was great. Woo! And in my mind, internally, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, it's not.
That
Well,
was bad. Don't use OBS for this stuff, people.
on top of that, I personally, ever since October, been having like, okay, in October, my kids came. I haven't seen them in a while, and they spent 2 weeks. So I stuck with them. I didn't do anything but spend my time with them because I never seen them.
Rightly so.
Then we did our stuff, and I had more guests coming and Thanksgiving happened and my mom's here for 3 months and there's just so much.
Dude, that's so cool that you get such a long visit with your mom, though, bro.
Yeah.
That's
She's
awesome.
leaving in a week. But anyway, so then I don't know when I can't remember when it exactly happened, but I end up getting sick. I
Uh-huh.
get like a touch of a flu.
It was like right after Thanksgiving.
It was yeah, it was right at the end of November because I had an appointment with my stomach doctor,
Hmm.
and he changed my
Hmm.
medicine. That
Yep,
same day I went to that appointment, it was later that evening. I started feeling like crap.
that's right.
Wake
Nick
up
and I
next day sick.
communicate outside of Zoom
Yes,
too.
we
You
do.
know, we've got cell phones and stuff and
Yeah,
text
we do.
messages and
We're not cavemen.
yeah. We technology.
So I get that, and then about a week and 2 days, I start coming out of being sick, and it's been that long. I haven't been on the one medicine the guy took from me. And right as I stop being sick, I have a massive flare up on acid reflux and what's going on with my
Hmm.
stomach.
Hmm.
And the acid reflux got into my windpipe, which jacked me up.
Oh, dude, that just
So,
sounds awful.
oh, it sucked. So I had a
Oh my
tickle,
God.
and it just made me. It wasn't a productive cough. It was just because I had like a tickle nonstop because I was irritated.
That would drive me nuts.
It took me about 5-ish days to calm that back down. I had to get me that pill back because I got to have it. Soon as I start calming that down, I had a rebound of the flu.
That's insane, dude.
2 days into that is when I started getting a pinched nerve in my left shoulder. Then the
Yep.
next night, two pinched nerves. And then
Yep.
within a couple of nights, I had them all over both shoulders. And I spent about 4 or 5 nights in a row in pain that I've never felt. I've had pinched nerves like crazy for all forever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I got a pinched nerve today I got to deal with. This was excruciating. Like, ran to
Just
the doctor
debilitating.
at night because it hurt that damn bad.
Yep.
I've never had so. I'm a pain tolerance kind of person. And it was like, oh my God, I'm just dragging my arms. Can't lift
Right.
them. My arms are still messed up. I can't go but so high they start burning. I can't. I got no range of motion.
You just gorilla knuckle
So,
dragging them on the ground as you
yeah,
walk.
the damn pinched nerves called all my tendons to tighten up. So when I reached back a little bit,
Uh-huh.
it felt like a tendon in my thumb was ripping right out. So then
Uh-huh.
it was a whole thing. So
Mm.
after about the fifth day, they gave me muscle relaxers, which only jacked me up, like telling my wife there's something wrong with me. I
Yep.
did not feel right. Get rid of those. Finally, for the first time ever, people for years been saying it. I actually go to a chiropractor, and that started fixing me up. I'm not perfect,
Finally.
but the major pain went away, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm mobile. I can do
Mm-hmm.
things. I can work. I can do stuff. I'm just
Gee, I wonder who told you to start seeing a chiropractor, I don't know, like 5 years ago.
so many people, really. But
Yeah, so
even
many people.
regardless,
Ugh.
so that's what I've been going through. Then after that happened, I had a buddy of mine from high school
Mm-hmm.
that I was very close to, and I haven't seen him in quite a long. It's been like 10 years since I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
But his mother, who was kind of motherly to me at the end of my high school, she took me in because I had problems with my father and whatnot. She
Yeah.
passed away from cancer,
Oh,
which sucked. And we haven't seen each other, so he wanted to come visit. So he spent a week. So I just spent my time with him.
that's good.
It's just been, dude, the holidays have been a freaking nightmare. They've been great in one aspect. I'm seeing people
Right.
I haven't seen, but in another
Right.
aspect, it's just been like, I'm a Christmas. I love Christmas. You know how I am
Oh, yeah.
and Halloween. And when I came out of being sick, we weren't even at Christmas quite yet. And I was like, I'm done. Let's just
Oh,
move on.
dude. That's so sad.
You know, it was hell
Oh,
when I'm saying, like, okay, Christmas was ruined. I'm done.
right.
I just was,
You know, my wife and I were having a conversation around Christmas time, Christmas season last month. And we were like, it doesn't feel like Christmas,
it just didn't.
you know? So our kids are young, obviously, right? Um, our son is 7, our daughter's 3. And we're like, we'll just make it Christmas for the kids. It doesn't have to feel like Christmas to us, but
Mhm.
damn it, it's got to feel like Christmas for them. So that's what we tried to do. And muddled through. I had my own things going on too. Dude, after hearing what you just laying it all out, I was there as things were progressing. And I remember thinking, like, my God, how much more can you put on a guy, right?
Mhm.
But now when you just lay it out like that, you take just a
Boom,
couple minutes and
boom,
it's just
boom,
like
boom.
boom, 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 boom. It makes what I'm about to say seem like it's absolutely nothing. Um, we decided in 2024 that, and it was a mutual agreement. Nick does have a heart, thank goodness. He's in a fairly climate controlled environment. I'm in my garage. Um, it's weather controlled, but not really climate controlled in my garage. So for the hot months, because we get triple digits here, it'll be like 115 degrees outside, but it's like 140 something in my garage. 2024 was, I think, dude, like the first year where we took a quote summer break.
Yeah,
Usually I come out here and I'm just
deal with
sweating
it.
and dying and deal with it, but I'm getting old and I don't want to. It's not fun. This is fun, but that aspect isn't, right? So we stopped from like mid-May, early June, all the way until October.
Hmm.
Sat down, got together in October. Nick got sick. My wife and I went on a vacation with the kids, second week of November. And then 3 days after we got back, I started having back issues. To kind of explain that a little bit, I was in a pretty bad car wreck back in 2007 that kind of started all the issues I have with my lower back.
In a
And
horsing
then
situation.
I've had a bunch of things happen, but that's what started things. Um, and then about late 2017, August-ish, I had a pretty severe thoracic spinal injury that occurred. The thoracic part of your spine is kind of like your upper back, and it's the quote unquote strongest part or whatever. So they say, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. So my whole back is jacked, right? I've got multiple herniated discs and ruptured this and that and degenerative disc disease and arthritis head to toe. I'm 38-year-old man with a spine of a 80-year-old is how I always explain it, right? Um, so 3 days after we get back from our vacation, it's now November 20th. I remember the day exactly. I'm like, wow, my back's going out. That's not cool. Nick was going through his things, right? And he was taking time with the family, doing all that kinds of stuff. So we kind of agreed like we'll get together in January at this point in time. We'll just take December off, right? So I deal with it all the way until December 9th when I just couldn't take it anymore. You know how you said with your shoulders, like you've never had that kind of pain where it just radiated all the way down to your fingertips and it's like it feels like they're gonna rip off? Similar kind of thing. My back, my lower back goes out all the time, and then I'm like crooked and weird looking and walking all funny and slow. But this
I thought
time,
that was your normal self.
that is normal. This time, the not normal thing was that essentially my last three vertebrae, the way it was described to me, um, basically had like started to collapse over each other, if that makes sense. So the very last one in my lumbar spine, your L5S1, um, collapsed so badly that it started to essentially like crush all of the nerves that run right there. And there's like five or six nerves that run right there that turn into your sciatic. So anybody with sciatic pain, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've never experienced any kind of sciatic pain, even with all of my back injuries that I've had. Um, so I've got this crazy gnarly pain I've never felt before going from my low back all the way down to my right foot. Dude, my right foot went completely numb, couldn't feel shit. Um, and I couldn't hardly walk. I had to get out my old cane. It busted. Had to get a new one. Nightmare. Went on disability from work, short-term disability from December 9th, I worked 4 hours that day. That was it. And then I was on continuous disability until December 31st. Met with my doctor again when the disability was running out close to the 31st. And he's like, I want to extend it through January 31st. I think you could benefit from another month, right? And I'm like, no, can't do that. I need to go back to work. Anyone who's watched the podcast in the past, you know that I work for a contractor, an entity that contracts with the government to train people to do certain things. The contract switched hands. So we're having a new company come in that's going to run everything. So I had to go and I had to reapply for my job. I had to interview for my job, all that kind of stuff. I was retained, which is nice because I've been there for like, this is the 10th year this year. But dude, talking about pills, bro. Oh my God. I can't even cover all the pills that they put me on because I don't remember them. Bro, at one point in time, I'm on like 6 or 7 different kinds of pills, and I can't pronounce the names of any of them,
I
dude.
hate being on pills, man.
Oh my God, I can't stand it. And I mean, there's a couple that I'll mention. Obviously, they gave me muscle relaxers, which is the cyclobenzaprine or Flexeril, whatever. They put me on Percocet. They put me on naproxen, which is supposed to be like, you know, a high-end kind of like a Aleve or whatever, anti-inflammatory. And then they had me on a handful of others. They had me on some steroid type pills, something ozone layer. I can't even today. I still can't pronounce it. I don't know what the hell it's called. There's another one. It's supposed to be a nerve blocker. It's amitriptyline or something like that. And then some, dude. And yeah, so Nick got sick. He busted his shoulders. I busted my back. We're like, let's take a break.
This ain't good.
So here we are. We had originally planned to start recording the first week of January. We're now in what? Almost the last week of January. There's like 7 days left or 8 days left in January, whatever. It's the 23rd right now. Like, let's do a podcast. So we've been out for a while because things happen, but we're back and we love it.
Things are starting to straighten up, though.
Yeah.
It's funny because then you mentioned how your work switched hands and you had to do all your stuff all over again from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And we always talk about from day one how we connected and how we think alike, and things just happen. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one year we were talking about watching Halloween movies, and we watched the same damn movie the same damn day, not even knowing it. Stuff like that.
Yep.
And now it's not the same, but it's technically the same. You had to do that all over again. I got my license. Yes, I went without a license for a bit, and I had to do it by starting all
license
over again. Like,
and that's
literally,
crazy.
like I'm 16, I had to do the little test to get my learner's permit. Then I had to do the 5-hour driving course so that then I could take my road test.
I have a question.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You in the corner.
When you had your permit, did you have to have a licensed driver over the age of whatever the hell it is with you?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Dude, I'm telling you, they started me all over.
That's amazing.
The only good thing, my buddy, it was right when my buddy came to visit for that week, and the whole week he with everything going on, we lost mom and all that. He said, coming here, just the fact that happened to you has made my week. He laughed his ass off the whole week. Oh, I'm glad I could help you out there.
Did you drive him around and be like, hey, I can't go anywhere without you in the car, bro?
Right away, I was like, Red always loved the truck, and I haven't been able to do anything with him. So I immediately, Jim, get in the passenger seat. I'm driving. I got a permit. Let's take Red for a drive and get some gas.
Oh, my God.
So you know what? I said, screw it. Why not have fun? And every time we go somewhere, Linda's like, we got to go here. Can I drive? Just like a kid. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I want to drive. I'll do it. I'll do it.
So why don't I
It's
just get
that
into
it's
that a
that
little bit?
it's
My driver life.
that false sense of freedom, dude. You're like, yeah, I can drive, but I need somebody to chaperone.
You
What
know,
do you want
it's
to get into?
funny. First off, so far, the license thing.
Yeah.
Up to now, we've talked about our ailments we've been having.
Yeah.
You guys out there, if you're watching, what have you had? Do you have any problems with your back? Is your neck
I
all
want to
tweaked?
know.
You got anything going
I
on
want
that's
to
been
know.
like, this isn't fair?
Make us feel better about our
Yeah.
situations. Maybe our stories made you feel better about your situation.
Anytime we tell a story, if you have something similar, you can relate to it, let us know, man.
Comments.
If you get something to us, maybe you tell a story about it. We might tell that little story here right on the podcast.
I am so happy to share. We'll keep your names out of it,
Yeah.
obviously, like
Unless you
actual
say, tell
names.
them who I am.
Right.
Let me dive into the driver's license. Go ahead. What? You can say something.
No, no, no. I just had a stupid comment. I was gonna make up a fake name.
Oh.
But I didn't want to. I didn't want to make up what I thought would be a fake name in my head and have it be like an actual person. That's why I stopped myself.
Well, with that real quick too, if you've noticed, now that we're back on the podcast, we're going back simple. We're eliminating a bunch of things and just making it simple. It's just two dudes. You never know what we're going to talk about. Every episode could be anything.
Two dudes chilling, having a good time, enjoying the rustic scenery
right.
because
And if you
we're
see,
both
even our
old.
background is now simple and beautiful. It's, we're just,
Dude,
this
I
is
love
new.
this. I love this.
I do too. I like
I'm
it.
looking back like I'm gonna see it. It's a green screen right here.
It
I'm an
looks like
idiot.
you could touch it.
It
Let's
does.
dive in quick a little bit on the license thing, shall we?
Yes.
So I
This is
had something
important for the
happen.
young folks.
Yeah, I had something happen. It's not bad. It's not like, I got caught drunk driving 52 times or anything, but it did something caused me that I couldn't have my license for a while. And here in New York, if you go 2 or more years without it, you can get it, but you got to start all freaking over, like literally from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and it was awkward. I go and like right there, I literally went just to get like a picture ID, just so I could do the shit.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, but when we got there, Lynn asked Lady, like, just for yucks, like, is he still not able to get a license? So the lady goes, let me look. And she goes on what I think they call the iris system. They go in there and it shows anything you got, any kind of suspensions or anything, if there's anything going wrong. She sat there probably a couple minutes looking and nothing on my name. There's nothing there. She's like, there's nothing here. Whatever happened is gone.
Eligible.
So you can get your license.
That's awesome.
Wait, what? So immediately we go over and say, that's what we're doing then. Like, we literally switched over right then. Let's
Yeah.
do that. They
I
fill
don't
out
want an
the form.
ID. I want a license, damn it.
They fill out the form, and the lady says to me, all right, sit in booth number 1. You got to do the questionnaire for your permit. And I'm like, oh, just like I haven't, okay.
No appointment needed, huh?
Nothing, no study, no, like, just remember it. I sat down and only got a couple wrong, so I passed that.
That's good.
They hand me a piece of paper and said you'll get a ID permit in 2 weeks. I'm like, they didn't, when I was a kid, you just got a piece of paper until you had your license. There was no.
Same.
So they said you got to do a 5 hour
did they like
course.
take your picture and all that right there
Yeah.
too?
You got to do a 5 hour course. I'm like, but they said the difference is at 16, or if you're a new driver, you get your permit and then you have to go like 6 months. Like there's an amount of time you have to drive. You can't just do. So
Yeah.
it takes a while. It's a process. They said with me, because I have been driving, I'm 49, that if I can do it like in 3 days, then knock it out in 3 days.
Yeah.
Just do it. I have to do it all over again, but I don't have to do the whole waiting thing.
Yeah.
But then I did, because I found I could do it online now, but they wanted the picture ID to prove it was me, so I had to wait 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Question, because you and I were talking about this on the phone and I was curious, and we haven't discussed this part of it since, right? That 5 hour class that you ended up having to do, was it actually like instructor led, or was it just play a video, walk away from your computer for an hour, come back, play the next video? How do
Well,
they have it structured?
like I said, you're able to do it online now. It was always in a class, and there's a
Mm.
woman or a man there, and they'll talk, they'll do bullet points, whatever, on the board, but then they'll play a video, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's no test or nothing. You're just sitting there learning.
Mm.
I did the course. I walked off when I was 16. They signed the paper. I don't remember anything that happened.
Right. Right.
You're literally zoning out.
Yeah.
But now I could do it online. But what's irritating is it says online there's no exam at the end, but they quiz you after there's 10 modules, and some of the modules have like sub modules. And they quizzed me every time to make this. They do that because now you're doing it by yourself online. They want to make sure you're doing it. They don't
Make
have
sure
to wait
you're
to know.
there, paying attention.
Yep.
Yep.
And they want to make sure it's you doing it. So they give me a bunch of questions I had to answer. So I have a whole bunch of security questions. But
Yep.
then they also made me do a voice thing. So usually
What?
I'd have to do a voice into the mic saying my voice is stronger than passwords. So they know that it's me and not somebody else
Wow.
sitting there doing it for me.
That's crazy.
So I get
How do they
started.
know? How do they know it's your voice though? Like, do they have you speak into a microphone at the DMV? They say this
No.
line because when you log in, you're gonna say this to your computer.
No, when you go on and you do your account with this place that's doing the whole thing,
Uh-huh.
you do all your security stuff, and then they have you do 3 samples of your voice. They
That's
record your voice
crazy.
into it. And then every
That's
time
weird.
you need to move on to something, they'll have you do that, and I got to turn my mic on, speak into it, and it matches it with my recording to make sure it's me.
Oh my God, that's so freaky.
Crazy, ain't it?
Dude, that's like next level type shit.
So I'm like, this should be nothing. I passed that test. I didn't even nothing. I was like, I just remembered it. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. You kind of have to do it for so many hours because each module is timed, and until that time runs out, you can't move on, even if you're done.
Makes sense.
So it's gonna take so long.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm just gonna like, okay, this, that, you got to click things, you got to interact with shit, or it won't let you move on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just run through this thing. I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention. And the first quiz, I get right. You get 10 questions. You have to get at least 7 right to move on.
Okay.
Now, if you fail the quiz, you get 3 tries, and if you don't make it in 3 tries, they lock you out, and you have to repay and start all over again.
Sounds about right.
I get to the second module. I'm thinking, this is nothing. I did the first one. I didn't even pay any mind. It's like common sense answering.
Yeah.
The second and third module were really the toughest ones because it was based on what you would tell kids, and it was all kind of new stuff.
Mm.
And then once it got to like 4 or 5, it was like, whatever, this is easy. I get to the second one, and I try to blitz through that, and I get a 60 out of 70. Son of a bitch, what?
Yeah.
So I go back in it, and I hit it. Okay, retry. And I'm looking through it. I was like, I bet you this one was wrong. So I try to switch some around. Now I got 50 out of 10.
Oh no!
What?
No! You
So I
better
go
go back
back
and watch
and
the
I
material again.
Could have swore I remembered all my first answers, so I kind of put them back and then tried to fix that. And now I'm just rushing. I'm starting to go, what the hell? And I click submit. 50 wrong, 50 right again, and they locked me out. I'm like,
no.
and not because I couldn't do it, because I was an idiot and I just paid no mind and thought I just rushed through it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying $49 more and starting all over. I only got to module 2.
Right.
So I email them. I'll try to do this quick, but it's hard to do quick. I email them. I tell them the situation. I'm like, I've been driving since I was 16. I'm 49 years old. I'm not like a nobody. This was whatever. I'm like, there's got to be something fair we can do here. I'm not paying all over again. I only got to
Right.
the second module. I didn't get an answer, so the next day I do a chat.
In your email, you're like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I was born an idiot.
The next day I figure, well, during the day I haven't got an answer. I'll chat with somebody. The lady acted nice at first, and then it was like, you have to pay. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. You got to pay. I'm like, then
No.
I was so irritated over the stupidity that I'm even having to do this to begin with. I was like, I don't need a license. Fuck it. I was irritated.
Oh,
Later that day, the people that I emailed answered it, and they're like, I get it, and blah blah blah. They kind of went over it. They said, I can't unblock it. The DMV will know. You can't do that. But what I can do is reset it like you haven't started, and then you have to redo all the security stuff. All like you got to redo everything you did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I appreciate that. And they said, all right, but this is a one-time, just a courtesy thing. If this happens again, you're paying.
Right.
I'm
You're
like, you know
please
what?
do it again. I'll pay attention this time. I promise.
Well, here's the problem. When I had that problem with the second module, before I went to the third try, I tried to go back to the module to go over it, and it won't let you. Once you get to the quiz, you can't go back into the module.
Oh no, that sucks.
Well, it's okay because I cheated.
Oh jeez.
Every time I pulled up a module, just in case, I screen recorded the damn thing.
Of course you did. You
So I screen
jackwagon.
recorded. I had it sitting on this screen, all screen recorded, and then I went through it. And the third and the fourth module was a little bit tough, so I did go back to the screen record, and I found my answers.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But then, like, it was either the fourth or the fifth one. From then
That's bad
on,
advice.
I didn't even need. I kept recording just in case, but
Yeah.
it was like all like the
Easy.
sign. It was all stupid. I was like, boom, 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 knocked it out. But it was just, dude. It was like, oh my god, this is so stupid.
So what about so you passed all that, right?
So I passed it. And when I passed, I was like, holy shit.
Finally.
Went on. Now I have to go on, take the thing that I says I passed, schedule my
Yeah.
road test. Luckily,
And then go actually drive,
yeah,
right?
you can take the road test anywhere. You don't have to do it like here. Like I'm in North Tonawanda. I don't have to do it at the North Tonawanda one.
Oh.
So I'm looking through here. I couldn't get in for like 2 weeks. The soonest was, it was the 20th when I did the test. It was the 22nd, which was yesterday. Was the soonest, but it was like in Batavia, which is an hour from here. So I'm talking to Linda, and I'm going to all the places. There's one on the 27th over here. There's one on the 28th.
Yeah.
The soonest is 2 days from now, and that's in Batavia. And first she was like, well, we need to get this over with. We're going to Batavia.
Good for her.
So we go to Batavia. I sit there and wait in line. There's two people in front of me. And, okay, there's a part, I kind of ran this with you before the podcast started, but there's
Yes.
a part I left out. All right?
Okay. Oh, you're holding back on me
There's
now.
one little
I see how
interesting
it
thing I
is.
left out.
See how it is.
Now, I'm going to help the people out there when I tell them about what happened with this road test part.
Mm.
I'm going to give a little
Well-
of a imagination thing to this. The
While
lady,
you help the people, I'm gonna take a pain pill.
oh, you do that.
So I'll be
Keep listening.
coherent for about maybe the next 20 minutes.
All right, keep listening now, because you want to hear it. The lady that did my road test, super nice, funny. She was telling me stories. She understood my situations. Like, that's no big deal. Whatever. I'm not going to tell everything she said because I don't know if I'm supposed to, and who cares? Whatever. She was like, I had people that were like in jail for 25 years, all kinds of crazy stuff that she's had to do road tests for. They had to start all over.
Okay.
So, what she was like, think about the movie, like, think about Paul Blart, okay? Mall Cop.
Oh my God.
You know how he was like, buy the book, like, I'm a mall
Yeah.
cop, like Psycho?
Yeah, yeah.
And you think about how, like, DMV people could be like that, like, buy the book, I'm going to do it. Now, you know Melissa McCarthy. You know Melissa McCarthy, right?
Yes. Well, not personally, but
Well,
I know of.
yeah, in the movies.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the name of the movie. It's a movie she does where she's like a rogue cop. She doesn't dress like a cop, but she's this hilarious cop busting people.
I don't know.
Okay, well, if y'all out there know what I'm talking about, this lady,
My wife would know.
if you took Melissa McCarthy and had her play a DMV lady that's doing this in a movie, that was this lady. I'm not talking looks or anything. I'm talking the way she was.
Yeah, mannerisms
like,
and all that.
You could see Melissa McCarthy be like serious and buy the book, but hilarious because she's comedic. So she's like, just, it's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I thought of when I was dealing with this lady.
I wouldn't have been able to drive. I would not have been able to drive.
So here's the part you missed. Okay. You got to do everything. All right. Even though I am a seasoned person. So obviously when you drive for years and years, you develop stupid habits, right?
That's one
You get
way
used
of
to
putting it.
driving.
He's a seasoned person. He's old. He's old.
So,
okay.
Hey, you got
It's
great
okay.
hair, beard. So shut
Hey, dude, we're both so far over the hill. We're both on the bottom of that other side. Okay. It's
Well,
fine.
she gets in the car and we're going to do the test, right?
Mhm.
So she goes, all right, when it's safe, pull out. So I look at my mirrors and I pull out. I start pulling out. You better check your blind. What are you doing? Check your spot. I'm like, huh? Oh, and I do my blind spot. She's like, and then she laughs. She goes, you better be safe. You have to check that blind spot. Okay.
You
Get to
better
the
turn
stop
that
sign.
head.
I get to the first stop sign. She's like, all right, go straight. And as we start going straight, she goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, slow down. What the heck are these people doing? There's a minivan just kind of sitting in the middle of the road next to a car that's parked,
Okay.
just sitting there. And she's like, pull up. Okay, just stop right here. Let's wait for them to do what they're doing. But she's got to be way away from them.
Yeah.
Finally, the minivan starts backing up like they're parallel parking. And they back up and they get to the curb and they stop and they're just at an angle behind the car and they're just sitting there. They're not moving.
Yeah.
And then the lady's just like, what? Okay, just start pulling up. Slowly. Pull up. Okay. When you get up here, and then finally the person gets and finishes the parallel park, right?
Okay.
She says, well, get up here and I want you to pull up right beside him. So I pull up and she starts rolling down the window.
Oh
Your
no.
window. And it's a young girl in the driver's seat. She's
Oh
practicing. Okay. The girl rolls down the window. What are you doing? I'm practicing my parallel parking. You know, you cannot do that. It says in the everything you've done to do this, it says everywhere that you cannot drive or do practicing driving with 1 mile within 1 mile radius of a test area. So where they do the road test, 1 mile away from that, all the way around it, you're not allowed to drive in that area, practice there, or anything when you're learning. You can't go in there
How's this little girl supposed to know that it's a test area?
because there's signs. They actually have
Oh,
signs
there are?
now. Yeah, there's a sign
I
that
didn't
says
know that.
road test starts right here, and you pull up to it, and then you get in your car, and then you. Anyways, first of all, I think it's
Huh.
why? Who cares? Are they going to learn something in the road test area? What you do
Right.
in a road test, you're doing anywhere. So I don't
Right.
really know why that. The only thing I think of is you're trying to do like she was trying to do that while I'm trying to do my road test. She's in the way. So
Yeah.
that's probably what
Yeah.
it is. She's like, you are not supposed to do that within a mile radius of the road test area. And on top of that, you were sitting in the middle of the street, just sitting there blocking the road. Move out of here, please. And then she rolls her window up and goes, go
Wow.
ahead. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And then again, from that point on,
Dang.
she's just telling me stories and laughing. And so I go to the next stop sign. I go to the next stop sign. She says, make a right. I was going to make you do a parallel park, but they messed that up. So we'll just do that later.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I make her right, and she's telling me a story about prisoners she's done tests for. And I get to the red light, and I'm kind of listening to her. So I get up the red light, and I don't want to brake hard, and I kind of creeped, and I got a little bit over the line you're supposed to be behind.
The white line right
Yeah,
there.
the big thick white line.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit over it, and she's like, "What do you don't you cross that line?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't. You just say you're sorry. I'm sorry. Okay." And then she kind of giggled, and I'm thinking she understands she's not going to hold that against me.
Right.
She goes, make her right here. I make her right. She's telling me more stories. She tells me about her husband, an electrician or not electrician, a guy and her husband was cutting a tree down. It's a whole thing. I won't get into that.
Meanwhile, you're driving. You're like,
Meanwhile, I'm just trying to
here,
drive.
lady.
She's like, take her right here. I make her right. Then she makes a left here. And there's,
Oh,
I
you
see Linda.
finally made a left.
Yeah, finally I'm making a left. I'm going past where I had started, and there's Linda. She can't be in the car. It's 3 degrees outside. So Linda's having to stand outside waiting for me to do my test in 3 degrees.
Oh my God.
So I go up. She goes, all right, now make another left. I make a left. She goes, stop here, 3-point turn. Okay, but okay. All right, now pull up next to the car, parallel park. I do a parallel park like you couldn't do it better than that. It was perfect.
Butter.
Boom, like nothing. All right,
Butter.
go ahead. When it's safe, I start pulling off. You better check your blind spot. I forgot to look again. I get to the stop sign, I'm like, and she's laughed. She's whatever. She's nice about it. And I'm like, I'm not I've been driving for a long time. You develop habits. She goes, oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Trust me. So make a right. You're done. I pull up. Linda starts getting a car. Lady tells us another story. I'm done with the road test. Linda's asking how it went. She's laughing about things. I'm like, I did like the parallel park in the 3-point turn
Meanwhile-
is really the only thing I did. Other than that, I was just turn, nothing.
Yeah.
There's
But
no way I didn't pass
meanwhile, your
that.
wife is in 3-degree weather because
3
heaven
degrees.
forbid she wait inside. They didn't have a lobby area.
No, it was at a park.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's weird. Um, I don't know why she couldn't just sit in the back of the car. What's the big deal?
Or that.
Um, so it's over. Now I gotta wait. She hands me a card before it started. She's like, that card will tell you the website to go to. After 6, you can check your scores. So I
Okay.
waited all day and it's irking me. I know I passed, but I also know stupid shit happens, like that
Yeah.
damn other test.
Yeah.
So I pull it up. Finally, time I pull it up and it says right on there, I'm seeing 10, 10, 10 across things. I'm like, what is all this? And it says up there, your scores, you cannot get more than 30 points or you fail. And I look and I realize the 10, 10, 10, and I scored 30 points on the money.
Wow.
And like I was telling you earlier, I got 10, the whole not looking for my blind spot, even though she was laughing and like it didn't matter. Like
Yeah.
10 points.
That's crazy.
And then that whole, I creeped over the line a little bit when she laughed it off. She used 2 different categories for it. I didn't do the right thing in an intersection. I can't remember the exact word she used, but it was
Yeah.
basically I didn't do the right thing. And I was not following the lines that are in the road. There's
Oh
2
my
totally
God.
different categories. 10, 10. I don't think that's right. I think, there's a
Wow.
lot of things in the road tests that they can do that can fit in several categories. So people are failing possibly where they only did 1 or 2 things wrong, but they fit 10 categories. So you got 100
Right.
points. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how it sounds.
So I passed it, but I'm like, seriously?
Well, at least you passed. At least you passed. See, that makes me think, dude, like going back to when I got my license. Similar kind of thing. I got my permit 15. I got my driver's license like on my 16th, almost on my 16th birthday. It was like a month ish, within a month of my 16th birthday. Um, and I remember doing my driver's test. And dude, they don't dock you by 10 points at a time for a category. At least they didn't when I got my license, 22 years ago. It's 1 point for each thing that you screw up behind the wheel,
Hmm.
right? So for example, if you're making a right-hand turn but you don't turn your blinker on, right? There's 1 point, for example. So I remember doing my driver's test and we were allowed to I could miss a grand total of, I think it was like 6 points or something like that. Went through everything. Everything was fine. I ended up missing, what I miss? I missed 2 points. 2. They had me park next to a curb in a residential area, and I got dinged because I didn't look over my right shoulder to check my blind spot on the right side while I'm pulling to a curb on the right side. So there's no lane of traffic or anything. There's no vehicles parked on the street. In my mind, I'm like, why the hell would I go, I'm a foot away from a curb. Here's my blinker to indicate that I'm gonna park. Why would I turn? Like, there's no lane of traffic there. I remember that. And then they had me back up. I think it was the parallel park thing, actually. I'm one of those guys where turning like that, I don't like that. I'm the dude that like leans forward and looks out the side mirrors as I'm leaning forward because I can see down the entire length of the vehicle, right? And that's how I back up my vehicles too, right? I'll lean forward and I'll check both mirrors. I'll look at the rear view mirror and make sure I cover all the angles that way. I got docked for that because I didn't turn around and look behind me as I was backing up or some shit like that.
I am surprised when I parallel parked.
Mm.
I pulled up and I looked at the car because I got a certain point where I always
Yep.
pull up to a car when I back in.
Yep.
And other than that, I kind of looked in the mirror and I just did it. I didn't look back. I didn't do nothing. I just,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, she didn't say, she was kind of like this. So I don't even feel if she noticed. She didn't say nothing about you didn't look back when you were backing up.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's like, lady, I've been doing this long enough. I know how to use my mirrors. Okay.
I'm good backing up. I'm good at that.
So you can miss 30 points. Last time I asked the trainees where I work, because we have a driving program as well. It was a year or two ago, the last time I asked. I'm gonna have to ask again. But they said that you're able to miss out here. You can miss like 16 points or some shit like that now.
Hmm.
I'm like, when I was getting my license, I could miss like 5 or 6. That was it.
That's 16 points.
16?
Wow. There's
That's
got to be like
crazy.
5 pointers or something in there because
I
it's like,
don't know. That's the only thing I can think
you know how
of.
many
But dude, I
things you can
haven't
get
had
wrong
to,
and you're still good to go?
right? But I haven't had to do a test, like an actual road test or anything, in over 20 years.
You know, it's funny.
So
That's the third
I don't
road
know.
test I've done.
Seriously?
Linda laughed about that. I did it, my original. And then when I was in Virginia, in North Carolina, it was really stupid. I was like 19 or 20 or so. I wasn't even old enough, really. I don't think.
Mhm.
If I can remember, I can't remember the age I was at. I was cleaning up my mom's yard, filling the back of a truck with stuff they need to go to the dump.
Okay.
And I had a beer while I was doing that. So I'm just
Okay.
having a beer while I'm cleaning up the yard. I'm not
Yeah.
like having a 12 pack and getting wasted. I'm having a
Right.
beer while I'm cleaning the yard up.
Yeah.
I head out to take it to the dump, not thinking my inspection sticker has been a couple days overdue.
Oh.
And I'm pulling, and all of a sudden I see a cop pull past me and turn around, and I know he's coming for me. There's nobody else in the whole way he did it.
Right.
And like an idiot, I had a beer on me. It's the one I was drinking.
Oh
I
shit.
thought nothing of it. So
You jackwagon.
I chuck it, and I'm looking back, and there's no way the guy see me because I did it while he was at a certain point and turn around. He would have never seen. He's got to pay attention backing up.
Yeah, you litter bug.
He pulled. I'm not big on that, dude. But in this position, I was.
You're like, yeah, no, I gotta get rid of this.
So pulls me over. He starts talking to me about it, and all of a sudden, here goes another cop, and he's seen it.
Oh my god, no.
So they're testing me, doing all this, but the one cop actually ended up being super nice. They had me below in the damn thing, and
Yeah.
it was like whatever, not even. It
Like
was
barely
enough to be
registering.
something. It was
Yeah.
enough to count. And he's like, "Well, I got to take you in my car," and he's like, but he didn't. He put me in the front seat. He cuffed me in front instead of behind, and put me in the front seat with him. And super nice dude. We're talking about the car and whatever. Super nice guy. Super nice to me. Unbelievably nice to me.
Okay.
All right. So because of that, I went through a whole thing where I lost my license. They gave me a what do you call it, temporary, so you could go to work, but you're very limited on what you can do.
Oh, like a moving permit
Oh,
or
yeah, like
whatever it's called.
I can't think of the word. Anyways,
You
know what I'm
you can
talking
go
about.
to A and B
A
and C, and
probationary
that's
type
it.
of license.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can go here to work and home.
Yeah.
And a couple things tagged me. I got like majorly screwed. And I ended up losing my license, right? I moved to Virginia. After 1 year, Virginia doesn't pay no attention to anything that's in other states.
Oh.
So after 1 year, I'm in Virginia, I can get my license back.
Mm-hmm.
They did not make me do tests and all that crap, but for whatever reason, they said, we want you to do a road test. What? And it was stupid because the guy gets in the car with me, super nice guy. He's like, just pull out. I pull out and he goes, go left.
Mm-hmm.
I turn left and it's like right up the street. It ain't hop skip. There's a red light. It's like right where the DMV in front of it. Get to the red light and it's like a divided highway. He's like, take a left. I go up maybe a quarter of a mile. All right, do a U-turn at this spot right here and just go back to the DMV. I literally just went,
The whole thing's 2.5 minutes. You're like, yep, you're good. No actual like demonstration of
No,
skills. Like, can
no
you keep the
parallel,
vehicle straight
nothing.
and
Just
make a left turn? And
yeah.
Yui, yep, you're good.
Because
Cool.
he was probably, I was hoping that's what the lady would be like. And I was in my
Right.
20s then. And he's like, just go, okay, that's good enough. This is
Yeah.
stupid. I'm figuring this lady's going to be like, this guy's 49 and he's doing this. And they're like, nope.
Dude, it's probably all the wisdom whiskers that you got going on. She was like, am I safe with this old buffoon behind the wheel?
Shut up. Oh, God, no.
All right, people, if you're still here, I want to know,
Any
when did you
interesting
get your
DMV stories?
license?
Yeah.
How many points were you allowed to miss? All that kinds of stuff. How many
Any
points did you
interesting
miss?
stories?
Interesting stories, funny encounters with the people that did your testing. I still remember the lady that did my testing when I was 16. Dude, I hated her with a passion.
You know what's funny?
Oh, dude, she was horrible. She was an atrocious person.
A
I was doing
lady,
everything right, and she made me feel like I was doing everything wrong.
it was a lady that did my very first one when I was a kid. All right. I'm in a freaking 1985 Chevy Chevette, the manual transmission.
Yeah.
And for most part, I'm doing good, but I'm nervous. I'm young. I was more
Yeah.
introverted then. I was like super shy. So you would not believe that, but I was.
You no way.
And I'm driving right, and she's
Just
making
go
me
to
nervous.
season one, people.
She's kind of looking stern, like I don't know, and made me so nervous that I did. I think there was two things I did wrong. The only one I can really remember vividly is she made me take a right turn, and I wasn't thinking. I just did a left. So when I took the right turn, I went wide. Like, what are you doing on the wrong side of the road? I'm like, oh,
Oh my
whatever.
God.
I'm going on the road, and we're headed back to the DMV. I'm like, well, I guess I failed. No, you
Right.
passed. Holy shit, really?
Driving
But
on the
man,
wrong side of the road? Check.
she made me nervous as all get out, man.
Oh man.
Oh,
I remember when I had my permit, I had been scheduled to go with the driving instructor with my high school, right? What was his name? Doesn't matter. Anywho's, he gets me all set up with I'm gonna go meet him on a weekend to drive, right? I thought it was gonna be him. I thought it was gonna be the dude that was teaching my class in school. No, it was some contracted driver's education person with their vehicle, right?
I didn't do that.
So, well, I had to have X amount of hours or
Well, we
whatever
did too, but
documented.
they just said you could drive with your parents. I didn't have to drive with an instructor.
See, and that was the weird thing, dude. It was like the time that I could drive with my parents, it only counted for a little bit. I still had
Really?
to have this like professionally documented time or whatever.
I think
I
they're
don't
doing
know.
that here now, but when I did it, I didn't have to have an instructor.
Well, you are old. Old. I'm just old.
I'm a T-Rex.
You dinosaur. I'm right there with you. You're just almost fuel now. Anywho's, so I'm with my mom and I'm driving to our local grocery store to meet with this, contracted driver's education guy or whatever. Dude, as we're driving, leaving our house, it starts to rain a little bit. I've never driven in the rain, right? 16-year-old kid. I'm like, then it starts to really rain. And I'm like, Mom. So I made my mom drive me the rest of the way to meet the dude at the grocery store because I don't know how to drive in the rain. I'm freaking out, dude. I was like scared to shit and back. I thought for sure it was going to be like something you see in the movies where the car just starts sliding and I don't know what the hell to do, right? So we get there. I get in this guy's car. He gets in. I watch my mom, she's in the driver's seat. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm with a complete freaking stranger. It's dumping, dude. buckets. Okay. I am freezing my ass off. I'm so cold, but I'm sweating profusely at the same time because of how nervous I am. Okay. And I'm talking with this guy, and I'm like, I'm scared to shit, man. He's like, it's okay. Has me start the car. I start the car. He's all, you cold? You want to turn the heater on? You're sweating. You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He has me pull out of the freaking thing. And I'm like, as we're leaving this grocery store parking lot, I'm like, okay, he's just gonna keep me on like some back roads. We can go slow, no big deal. This is all in my head, obviously, right? He goes, okay, so turn your blinker on, get into that lane over there, the next lane over. We're gonna make a right here. Okay. And I know where we are, but I don't know what we're about to do for some reason. Looking back, I should have seen it coming. He had me get over because the lane next to us automatically becomes the on-ramp for the highway.
Oh,
Dude, in my mind, this torrential downpour is like it might as well have been a flipping like hurricane to me, right? Just buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets. Luckily, the on-ramp is hella long. It's like a half-mile long because we're coming from up top. We got to come down and then merge onto the highway. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch has me hit 80.
Ooh.
I get it up. I'm at like 55. He's all, hit the gas.
Why
I
would
get
he
it up
do that with
60.
you and raining like that?
That's what I was saying.
That's
I
odd.
look, I'm going 65. We're getting on the highway. In my brain, I'm young, I'm stupid. I don't know that people don't drive the exact 65 speed limit. Most of them are going to drive between 70 and 70. I didn't know any of that shit. I'm thinking everybody's driving at 65 miles an hour, right? So I hit 65 and I'm like, white knuckling it. He's like, dude, hit the gas, turn on your blinker, get into the next lane. I'm like, the fast lane? Right? He's all, well, it's yes. So I turn the blinker on. There's cars. I'm waiting. And he's like, are you gonna go? You gotta hit the gas, man. Give it some gas. It's okay. Like, I'm going 65. He's like, yeah, it's okay. Push it to 70. Now start pushing it to 75. There's nobody in front of you. Okay. By the time I finally get over, I'm going 80 freaking miles an hour, losing my mind. And I'm like, what if we get pulled over? He's all, it's fine. Just maintain this speed. Dude, the very, very first time I've ever truly been behind the wheel of a car, the very first time I've ever driven on the highway, I asked him about it after I finished the program with him because I met with him, I think, 2 more times for 2 more drivers outings or whatever the hell it's called. And I asked him, and he's like, well, you were obviously scared to death, and I had to get you over it. I'm like, you're an evil son of a bitch, dude. Like, that is so messed up. But it worked. It worked because now I can drive. No problem.
Very first time I drove was with my mother, and we were on the fucking highway. She's like, you know what? She pulled off the shoulder of the highway, get in the driver's seat. Her manual transmission Mustang, go.
Oh, shit. Off the shoulder of the highway. Not even like, let me pull off onto some road where you can ease into it. She's like, here you go. Good luck.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Ain't crazy. All right, real quick, one last thing.
And it was a manual? Had you ever driven a manual before?
No.
Like, not even
but for some reason, I don't know if
it's nothing?
No. But for some reason, like everything else I've done in my life, not bragging, it's just the truth. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's from watching my dad drive it as a kid or what, but I just drove it. It's just weird.
That's cool. The very first vehicle I ever purchased with my own money was a manual transmission.
I love it. I'd get another one if I could.
Dude, I miss it so much. I miss having a stick shift.
It's so nice.
Oh, you're so much more in tune with your vehicle, I feel. like you could feel everything
And you
in
got
my
way
mind.
more control, in my opinion.
Oh,
Just that much
100%,
more
dude.
control.
100%. But I bought it from a coworker that I worked with. And it was a 1988 little Mitsubishi Mighty Max pick 'em up
Oh my
truck.
God.
Yeah,
Really?
dude. Oh, dude, it was epic. And I was so freaking proud of that damn thing. I'm like, I got my own truck, bitch.
Holy
The
Lord.
first thing I ever bought, first vehicle I ever bought with my own money. I bought it off this girl that I worked with for like $700. It was super cheap, dude. But it's like 9:30 at night. Um, what had happened was she we ended up getting off of work at the same time. She obviously needed to go home, right? So I came to work. I gave her the money for the truck. She signed over the title and everything. And then my excuse to not drive the truck and drive her home was, well, I don't know where you live. You obviously do. It's late. Like let's just get there. You drive, right? So she drove. We get there. She goes inside, does her thing. I've got the keys. I got everything I need. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Shit. I've never driven a stick. I've never paid attention to anyone driving a stick. I don't know what to do,
You didn't
dude.
at least watch her while she was driving?
I did a little bit, but dude, it was dark. It was like 9 o'clock at night when we got off of
You're like, can
work.
I just hold your hand while you're shifting?
That's not weird. Dude, I get my phone out. I call my dad. My dad answers the phone. He's a little groggy. I don't know. Maybe he had like had a glass of whiskey or something. I don't know. But either way, he's coherent, but he's not like fully there. He's like watching a movie or something. He's not really paying attention. I'm like, Dad, I bought a truck. I don't know how to drive it. What do you mean you don't know how to drive it? It's a stick shift. What do I do? He goes,
That's great.
he goes, okay. Um, Look at the shifter. Do you see the numbers? And do you see the one that says R? That's reverse. And I look at the shift knob. They're not painted. There's no numbers on there. Somebody had put some kind of aftermarket shift knob on there. And I'm like, there's no numbers, Dad. I didn't know it was aftermarket. I didn't know anything about vehicles, really, right? I'm young at this point, dude. Like,
Yeah, not all vehicles are same. Some got a reverse up and
no.
right. Some of them got left and down. They're all, you never
Yep.
know where it is.
I've seen ones where you got to go all the way to the left wall, past the left wall, and then forward to go into reverse. Whereas, you've got left wall forward to go into first gear, right? Anyways,
I've seen
so
them where, like the Chevette, you have to push the stick down and then over to get in.
I've seen that. Now, see what happens when you get experienced and you learn some things and you do some shit. Go out, live life, get some experience, do some things, and learn
That's
some
right.
shit. So he's like, okay, what kind of truck did you get? I'm like, it's a Mitsubishi something or other. Right. He's like, I don't know anything about it. Anyways, most of them are going to be all the way to the right and then down. I'm like, down? What do you mean down? Like into the floor? He's like, no, push it all the way to the right and pull it back towards the seat. I'm like, okay. So I'm pushing it to the right. I'm pulling it back towards the seat. Nothing's happening. Right. And I'm like, it's not doing anything. He's all, did you start the truck?
Oh my God.
I'm like, well, okay, let me start the truck. So I go to start the truck. Dad, the truck won't start. Do you have your foot on the clutch? What's a clutch?
Lord have mercy.
He's all, okay, look at the floorboard. You see the three pedals? Like, yeah. He's all, the one on the far left, that's the clutch. The one next to it in the middle, that's the brake. The one on the right, I'm like, I know what the brake and the gas are, Dad, but thanks. Yep, okay, got the clutch. He's all, okay, press the clutch, start the truck. Okay, press the clutch, start the truck. Truck fires right up. Perfect. Boom. Beautiful. Okay. Have you lifted your foot off of the clutch yet? I'm like, well, yeah. Don't do that. Why? Because it's not going to go into gear if you don't engage the clutch, Put your foot back on it. Push it all the way to the fucking floor. Right? I can't remember if he cursed or not, but I have a feeling he did because I remember him being agitated. Right? Put your foot all the way to the floor, all the way to the right, back towards the seat, right and down. I'm like, okay, all the way to the right, back towards the seat. I'm like, hey, it did something. He's all, okay. Is the driveway slanted or is it flat? I'm like, well, it's slanted a little bit. So if I let off the brake, I'm going to start rolling backwards. He's all, good. Use that to your advantage. he goes, let off the brake and then very slowly let your left foot off the clutch. And dude, that thing skipped backwards into the street. Dude, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm like, oh my God, okay, what do I do now? I slam on the brakes. I don't engage the clutch. I'm still in reverse. What's the vehicle do?
Shuts off.
Dies. So then he goes, okay, last thing, and then I got to go. Every time you go to hit the brakes, you should engage the clutch. Every time you need to shift gears, you need to engage the clutch before you move it. Your first gear is going to be all the way to the left and up, or in your case, forward. Dramatic pause. Second gear is going to be all the way to the left and down, or towards you. Third gear is up and slightly to the right. Fourth gear is going to be straight back. And if it has a fifth gear, you go all the way to the right wall where the reverse is, but you go forward again. You go up.
Right.
I got to go. Good luck.
Okay.
Dude, I'm in the middle of the street.
Meanwhile, the girl's in the house and she hears this.
She's probably busting up laughing. Dude, she's probably watching me from her bedroom window or something. I don't know. I hadn't even figured out how to turn the damn headlights on yet. I'm in the middle of the street in the dark in a vehicle I can't drive.
Oh my God.
So I fire it back up. I'm engaging the clutch, foot on the brake. I put it in first. I look forward. I'm like, shit, headlights, where are they? Spend a couple minutes, find the headlights finally. And like, okay, Dad said, let off the brake, super slow with the foot, and then let's go. He didn't say anything about hitting the gas while you're hitting the clutch and, doing the whole kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I just let my foot off the clutch and it started skipping again. So I just hammered down on the gas. And just, all right, here we go. We're driving. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in first gear. The engine's screaming, dude. And I'm like, when do I shift? Probably now. Wait, what do I do? Left foot to the floor. Didn't bother to take my right foot off the gas. Just threw it into second. Chirp the fucking tires. Keep going. Like, damn.
Fantastic.
Oh my God. Needless to say, I eventually made it home. I did have to get on the highway. But man, dude, that was an interesting first vehicle.
Wow.
First purchased vehicle.
If you get good and if your car has a synchronized manual, you can actually, if you know how to, you can shift without using your clutch. I've done that.
Yeah, we call it air shifting out here. At least how I learned it was air shifting. And the way that it was described to me is you rev up the RPMs, give it a quick little with the gas pedal. That is enough to get it out of gear. Give it a little while it's in neutral with the gas pedal. Pop that bitch into gear and boom, you're going. Yeah, I fucked around and did that shit all the time too. It was fun. God, dude, there's so much stuff you can do in a manual transmission you just cannot do in an automatic. And it makes the time go by.
Case in point, your battery's kind of dead. You can't crank it. You can just roll the fucker, put it in first, pop the clutch,
and go.
You know how many times I've done that?
Oh, dude.
Get her going. She's not going fast enough.
That was one of the benefits of having a 1988 Mitsubishi Mighty Max.
It
wasn't a heavy vehicle.
Yeah,
it was light.
My first car was a 79 Mustang hatchback with a 4-speed and a 4-cylinder engine. I loved that thing, though.
Outstanding. My very first vehicle was actually coincidentally it was also a 1988, but it was an 88 Chevy Silverado, single cab, standard box with step sides. It had the 350 automatic transmission, but it had the small block 350 in it. That was essentially given to me as a first vehicle from my folks, right? I drove that thing it blew up.
Yeah,
I didn't know about oil changes and transmission
brakes.
fluid
I had
and
like metal brakes.
and
I couldn't
stuff.
stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to
That
I
one,
MacGyvered that
oof.
thing.
Oh, dude, I threw a rod in the
Oh,
Chevy.
really?
In the first Chevy. Oh yeah, I threw
Game over.
freaking just threw the rod. Done. Motor
So,
blown.
would you say that manual transmission is a funny thing that you had to deal with?
Oh, absolutely hilarious.
Okay, it's
One of
interesting.
one of the more funny things that I've had to go through.
It's
At the
in-
time, frustrating. Looking back now, hilarious.
It's interesting you told that story because I was literally
Sorry.
about to tell you. The last thing we'll do is an interesting thing that happened that's funny or whatever driving.
Yeah.
So you already nailed yours.
I
Which is
have
good, 'cause
another
I'm gonna let you
one.
go first, anyways.
I have another one. And I
Mine's
didn't know we were
quick.
going to do this.
Mine's
But
kind
yes,
of
go.
quick. And then you people out there, if you had something like this messed up, something you went through driving, tell us your story. Okay, I got tons of them, and like I said, a lot of times it's MacGyvering my vehicles. I'm in the exact Mustang my mom had. It was a gray 85 or 6 something Mustang. It was a nice
Mhm.
Mustang. And it's the same one she had when she said, all right, pull off the side of the highway, get in there and drive it. Me and my buddy Jim, that was just visiting,
Okay.
are in it coming back from Greensboro. She lived in Reedsville, so it's like an hour drive on the 29.
Okay.
It starts to frickin' downpour. I'm
Oh,
talking downpour.
buckets.
Hit the windshield wipers, nothing.
Oh shit. No, dude, I've had that happen. Oh my
Nothing.
God.
Son
No.
of a bitch, I can't see. I managed to come up on a bridge, so I get up under the bridge off the shoulder and like, how am I gonna get home in this? And it's pouring. It ain't gonna let up anytime soon. I'm looking around. I have some frickin' speaker wire I had gotten for doing.
Okay.
All right, Jim, roll your window down. Roll my window down.
I know where you're going.
I get out. I tie an end of a wire to the wiper, and I pull it into my window. I tie it into his wiper. I give it to him. We take off. I pull it. He pulls it back. I pull it. We're
I
the
knew you
whole
were gonna
way
say
home.
that. Oh my God.
Trying to keep up with like downpour. You know, your wipers would be doing this, trying to do it.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, rain coming in the windows. We're getting soaked. Man, it was interesting. In a manual transmission, mind you, with
Yes,
the manual
that's what I'm thinking about right now.
what an
All I'm
escapade!
envisioning is this, dude. You're pulling this thing. You're trying to shift gears all at the same time.
Oh my god, dude, it was something else. Those are great memories, though.
Once they become memories and you're done living it, it's usually pretty funny.
I wonder how many people are driving by seeing me doing this. Look at this idiot.
In the
It worked.
moment, it's like frustrating. You're like, this is the worst thing ever. This sucks. I can't believe this.
Once we got going, we were going up the highway. We were laughing the whole way home. I can't believe this. We're getting soaked. It was pretty funny.
Good. At least it was a fun time, though.
It's kind
in
of
the
funny.
moment.
Back then, all kinds of crazy stuff like that happened to me and with my old cars. And he was always with me. That Mustang I had, we had these two girls in the car, and we went to the falls. And on the way back, I'm driving, and all of a sudden my pedal just goes to the floor. I got nothing.
Oh.
What the hell? I pull over, pop the hood. It's old school, so it's carbureted, you know, linkage going to the carburetor. It's old.
Yeah.
The frickin' linkage, for some reason, the clip just broke off or something, and the linkage is just flopping and ain't hooked to the carburetor. What am I going to do? We're not home. I just happen to be chewing some gum.
MacGyver.
I put the linkage back on, I took that gum and I packed it, and it drove it all the way home.
That's awesome. The 88 Chevy I told you about, there was a there was a vacuum line in it. That would always pop off.
Oh,
And
and
when
then
this one specific vacuum line popped off, it would kill the truck. So I can't tell you how many red lights I'd be sitting at in that fucking truck, dude. And the whole thing just
yeah.
done. And once I figured it out after the first time, I'm like, oh, here we go. So I go out, pop the vacuum line back in, close the hood, get in, fire the truck fires up, take off. And dude, over the course of the time I had that vehicle, I probably went through an entire roll of duct tape just on that one vacuum line, dude. Just because it
Trying to
would
keep
heat.
it on there.
Well, because the duct tape would heat up, it would lose its
Yeah.
adhesiveness,
Slide right
and
off. Yeah.
it is what it is. Never once did I think, hey, let me go pick up some new vacuum line and maybe a little clamper or something. I'm like, no, just keep duct taping it. I never claimed to be a mechanic, dude. Like, I'm not smart. I'm smart, but I'm not that kind of smart, at least not
God.
at the time. Now I can get by with some stuff. Uh, Speaking
Well,
of funny things that happen in a vehicle with friends, um, I went to work one night, came out, my rear license plate was missing. So I took my front license plate, put it on the rear of the vehicle, called the DMV, notified them, hey, my rear license plate is gone. I think it's been stolen or something. So I took the front plate and I put it on the rear of the vehicle. I may have shared this in a year or five ago on the podcast already. I don't know. So
I don't remember it.
the DMV lady on the phone, she's like, okay, we've got it notated in the system. Thank you. Cool. Go home. Week or so ish goes by. I've got my best friend in the vehicle with me. I call him my brother. Um, he's riding shotgun, driving on the highway, maybe 5 minutes from home. And we get pulled over by California Highway Patrol officers at gunpoint.
Damn.
At gunpoint. I pull off to the side of the road. I'm like, am I speeding, dude? Like, what are we doing that's wrong? He's all, I don't know. Maybe it's the plate thing because you don't have a registration sticker. I'm like, that's probably got to be it. So pull over. They're on the little bullhorn. They're doing a full blown felony stop. They're at the
They're
doors
thinking
and
you're
everything.
a carjacker.
Exactly. So they pull me out, walk backwards with the sound of my voice. Don't look at me, blah, 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 blah. We get handcuffed. I get handcuffed. They pull my buddy out. He gets handcuffed. And that's exactly what he says. He's like, did you know this vehicle's stolen? I'm like, this ain't a stolen vehicle, dude. It's my truck, man. Look in the glove box. You'll see the registration and the insurance. And here's my license. You can verify everything. So I tell the cops the story. It all gets squared away. I'm laughing. My buddy's laughing. The cops are laughing. They get a call. They're still laughing on the way back to their car. They're like, okay, be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, we
Funny.
just made an ass out of you on the highway.
Right. And in my mind, I'm like, how many people do I know
Went by, seeing you come.
just saw me cuffed? Like, did my mom or my grandma just drive by? How many phone calls have I missed already?
Oh man.
So that was another interesting one that was really stressful in the heat of the moment and kind of scary when you're 20 something
I
and you
hear you.
don't know nothing.
We need to do
Oh,
some more podcasts where we talk about some of these screwed up stories we had happen when we were kids. They're fun.
I agree.
Oh man, I got so many.
I agree. You know what I just realized? Buddy, like normal, we didn't even have a plan coming into this. Dude, we stuck to one topic for the duration of a podcast. That's probably a first.
Wow.
We talked about vehicle related stuff, driver's licenses, driver testing, vehicles in general, for the whole thing. We didn't go off into left field or onto Mars. I'm on my way to Mars right now because the
What's wrong
meds
with
are
it?
starting to kick in. But, dude, we stayed on topic.
If y'all have any crazy stories that go along with any of the stuff we've talked about today, get it to us, man. We'll share
Send
your
it.
stories.
Send
Do
it.
some funny stuff.
We will read that and make fun of you for it and laugh with you about it. We'll cry for you or with you if it's a sad one. We might even make fun of that one too because we're kind of mean.
If you want to know where Just want to submit a story. I'm going to have a link in the description. You can click on that and send us a story.
If you want to be anonymous, we'll keep you anonymous.
Yep.
If you want us to share your name, we'll probably still keep you anonymous. I don't want to be that guy, dude. We've got like explicit written consent, right? Use my name. Here's my first name. Here's my middle name. Here's my last name. Here's all my information. Here's my address, blah, blah, blah. Throw it out there. And then we get sued, even if they've got like written permission for us to do that. Not going to happen.
Yeah, be
Hashtag not
careful
my
these
fault.
days. It's crazy out there.
That's nuts.
Well,
Anyway, it was good seeing you on the podcast side of things. It was good to sit down and get back behind all this again.
oh,
We
great.
missed you guys,
Yeah.
all of you, all three of you that actually paid attention for the majority of this journey.
And as we said, our podcast, you don't know what the next episode will be. If we do know, we may do a join us next episode when we talk about, hairy gophers. But if we don't, it'll be a surprise.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I figure, why not? If there's something somebody's just interested in, you want us to talk about,
Oh, yes.
shoot it to us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the whole comment portion when we say like, comment,
Subscribe.
share, subscribe, all that jazz, the thing.
Be a part of it.
If you don't tell us what you want, then we're going to continue making it up. And usually when we sit down to have our discussion, usually we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Sometimes we don't.
I
have a
had no clue this is what we were going to do today.
We get on, we say, hey, what have you been doing? And whatever ends up coming out of our head, that's what you get.
We should rename the podcast to Two Dudes Just Bullshitting.
Two dudes.
Two dudes just bullshitting. Anyways, dude, it was good to see you on camera again, brother. I love the fact that we got Zoom back. I already did the thing. That's 3 times in one episode now. Thank you very little. Boom. And happy to be hanging out with you guys all again, whether you're in podcast land or the tubes of Uville, wherever you're tuning in from. Nick and I really do greatly appreciate you. We're trying to climb the ranks and the ladder still on the YouTube side of things. We would love to be able to, get that magical number and watch hours and all that stuff. And then maybe him and I will be a little bit more careful with what we say.
We'll work on
Probably
it.
not. Probably not. We're too stupid for that.
All right, people. Whoop. We love y'all. Be good. See you next time.
Peace.
Peace.